What is good, everybody? Welcome to the first live stream on this channel. And today I'm really excited for it, but I'm also really nervous. But yeah, I mean, me nervous? Yeah, I totally do get nervous. So, what we're going to be going over today is let me pull this up. So, today we're going to be going over the animal highlights of the show. I'm going to be playing some clips from the actual episode that I just released on YouTube earlier today. And then with my buddy Mitch, I'm going to be going over the state of the reptile market. And is it crashing? And like, guys, so I actually travel a lot throughout the country, like one show like every month. And I've got a lot of info from other breeders, so I will be able to actually give you some good insights, even from myself. And then if you guys stick around to the very end, me and Mitch will be talking about our pickups from the show. And then also we'll be doing some Q&A throughout the episode. So we'll try to do our best to get to everyone on the questions, but it might not be able to, so don't get upset if I can't. Okay. And then for the special guest today, we got Mitch in the house.
What's going on, mighty morphine chameleon brother and reptile nerd?
How's it going, Mitch?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, too. Just taking care of the animals and getting ready for this today.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so you want to go over some animal highlights real quick?
Yeah, I'm totally down. Let's do it.
All right, give me one moment. So the first animal I want to bring up to you guys today is I wanted to show off. Here, let me pull this up to the screen. So I wanted to show off this Parsons right here. Let's see, where's a good start for it?
Hey, who's that?
Hey, that's you. Yeah.
That's me.
So here's this Parsons chameleon that Mitch brought to the show, and this was like a really nice orange eye. And like, it's not fired up right here; it's fired down, but
yellow giant.
Yeah, dude, and it just looks really awesome here. Let's get that pulled up all the way. Yeah, I mean, look at that, dude. That was one of my favorite animals.
Totally. That thing was massive, too.
Right, dude? And dude, look, right here when it was fired up in the trees, that's when it looked pretty cool. Oh, crap. You got the orange eyes right there.
Yellow giant.
Yep. That one was a yellow. I thought this was the orange eye.
No, they're all yellow giants.
Oh, yellow giants. My bad. Well, here, you got a female right there. Then you had some little babies. Let's see.
Oh, let's see. We got to see the babies. They're so darn cute.
I know, right?
There we go.
So how old was this baby right here?
5 to 6 months old. I have to look at their hatch date, but they're right around 5 to 6 months old.
Okay. And so, like, how many of these babies actually did find new homes, if you don't mind me asking, from the show?
Only one.
Only one? Really?
Yeah.
Man, see, dude, usually, like, these things do just fly off the market, at these shows. So that's kind of not a good sign in all honesty, really, what's going on with the reptile market.
Yeah, I was expected to sell all of them, including some of the big yellow giants that we had. But it just didn't seem like people wanted to pay, that much money. We sold a lot of panthers and a lot of not lower end, but like less expensive animals. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, everyone's just trying to be careful with their money right now. Even me, and like, how I was talking about like traveling earlier, like every month to another show. Like, I might not do that honestly as much this year. It's just like traveling's expensive. So in case you guys didn't know, you know how much I spend every time I like go traveling to a show? I actually drop about like $1,200 per show. Yeah. So like, there's the airplane ticket, the rental car, the food, the good drinks, and then the hotel. Did I say hotel? Yeah, the hotel. Okay, so now I want to show this animal off. So the knobtails, right? Do you like knobtails personally?
I love knobtails. They're so cute and so cool. And there's a lot of different ones, right?
Yeah, so like this one, I forget the name of it off the top of my head. It's like Leverius or something like that. Here, let's pull it up.
Is that like a morph, or is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pause this real quick. So he was saying that I think he was selling this animal for about $2,000. So like this little knobtail, it's not the rough knob, but I forget the name, but like it's like patternless.
Yeah.
And then it just goes albino. So it's like an albino patternless. Hold on. I popped up some kind. There we go. See, this is the normal right here. See, like the normals, he was saying like it has like a starry pattern right there. And you can see the difference. Yeah, you can see the difference between the eye cap right there. It's silver. And then this one's completely black.
Does does the one that was at the show, does that have red eyes since it's an albino?
No,
Or
it doesn't. That's what I'm surprised. It doesn't. Hold on. Let
well,
me
because
see.
I know there's different forms of albinism, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but T positive versus T negative albino have some of them have the eye trait, the red eye trait. Some of them don't. That's cool.
Bro, if you look carefully on this eye right here, dude, it totally looks like it got bloodshot eyes. Like, dude, it looked like it just smoked a joint or something. All right,
Yeah.
and he also had this other cool animal here. Let me see, what was it? Let me fast forward a little bit. I forget what that was. Oh, the green keeled-bellied lizard. Have you ever seen this guy before?
Yes, I have. They're really cool. What was your favorite aspects of that lizard?
You know, like I really do love it. And if you actually look at it, it kind of has like this like teal, like green look to it. I do like to see green look actually. You know, a lot of people are saying like this is actually like another like type of monitor lizard, but it's just like in a small package right there. So you know, I was actually looking into. Oh, that's Dustin. That's the guy I interviewed, by the way. You know, I was looking into getting these guys before, but I was just like, no. If you know, I already got a bunch of small reptiles, and now that I'm finally a homeowner, it's time. I'm just ready for the big boys. You know.
Yeah, like your pectinatas.
Yeah, well, those guys are going to be cool. They don't even get that big, but you know what I mean.
So from looking at that lizard, they seem to have a really long tail. Are they like arboreal, semi-arboreal?
Yeah, they're actually arboreal. They're literally like a green tree monitor. One of my friends in Florida, she says that like she has tree monitors and like black dragons, and then she got some of these guys, and she says these are even more tame than the actual like tree monitors she has. So I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay.
that makes sense. Tree monitors are pretty gnarly.
Well, they can be pretty tame if you work with them at a young age, but still, that's always like a hit or miss, dude. You know.
Totally.
Okay, let's see. Oh, let me see. See, that's about as big as it gets right there.
That's
That
rad.
he's holding right there, you see. So I think he was saying about like 16, 18 inches.
That thing's mostly tail.
I know, that's how monitors are really too.
Yeah. And it looks kind of blue. I don't know if it was the camera or whatever, but it kind of has like a blue turquoise tint to it.
Yeah, it does have a pretty cool like sea green look to it. I do like that a lot.
That's
All
why
right.
you picked it, you and your blazing blue collared lizard addiction.
Right, dude. And let's see what else. Oh, I think I saw. Hey, Ty, I know you're in the chat. I see you right now, man. Oh, dang it. Where? Yeah, I got you in the YouTube video.
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
So does that Jackson.
Yeah, I think he sold that one to that kid. I don't know though. Okay. Oh, right here. So I actually was surprised to see this at the show. The redheaded Amazon river turtle.
Whoa.
Like, so the only times I've ever seen this on social media was from Mason Barnes, and like these guys are actually pretty rare too. Like I was surprised to see a trio of them. So this was at Herb Time's booth, and like so he was selling I think a trio for like $3K. I think that's actually a pretty good deal. So I guess the reason why you don't really see this kind of animal actually like really in captivity, I think Mason Barnes was saying in his little Snapchat story that they take about 10 years to sexually mature. I know, 10 years. That's like
a commitment.
Yeah, that's a real commitment. And honestly, I kind of wonder, do you think these might have came from Mason Barnes? Because he was the only person I really know that had them.
There's a chance.
There's a chance, yeah. But I think that was really cool. Like, if I was to ever get another aquatic turtle, it'd definitely be one of these guys. Okay, let's see. What other animal? Oh, this caiman lizard, dude.
Love caiman lizards, man.
Yeah, don't you actually have a couple caiman lizards?
Yep, we usually sell them at the shows, yeah, we got a few ourselves. They're really cool. There's nothing beats like a semi-aquatic lizard where you can keep them in water and have basking spots, and they eat snails. And if you can get them onto shrimp and different things like that, like you win.
Yeah, dude. So
they had koi there.
Yeah, I swear you walked by with me. Oh well, you had a bunch of things going on in your brain.
Oh, dude.
Oh, guys. So this part that we're about to show you, this was nuts. So right here, when Mitch and I were just outside, this guy was like playing with a little raven, right? You see that raven right there? Watch what he does. Just keep watching, dude.
I can't believe you got
look, bro! It got on his arm, dude.
So
okay? Let me know. Have you guys ever seen a raven do this before? I have never had before, so that was pretty nuts.
So yeah, that brings me to the conclusion that had to have been someone's pet. And talking to the that lady who had the owl at the show, she agrees with this behavior. And what we normally be seeing in the area is like a black crow, but that is indeed a raven.
Mm-hmm. So,
Pretty
oh
nifty.
yeah. Well, I said crow in the video. Whatever. I'm not an expert.
Hey, it's all right, man.
I should ask Siri, is that a crow? Oh, and guys, dude. So
There it is.
Ty, you in the chat, Ty. So I know. So Ty, in case you don't know, Mitch, Ty is like a homie from the Northwest. He's always at the reptile shows here. And look, Ty, you recognize this owl? You know that owl that's always at the show? This is the same type of owl. This is called the Eurasian eagle owl. And like, did you actually get the chance to hold this one, Mitch?
No, I didn't. Only Nick the Wrangler was able to hold it. Lucky him. But
I know a couple.
you know,
people
they're
did.
related to the horned owl.
The horned owl.
Yeah, I
No,
believe.
I don't think I know what the horn owl is. You know, the first time I think I ever saw one of these or seen these on on the internet was through Chandler's Wildlife. You know who that is?
Yeah.
The venomous guy who's always
Yeah,
flinging
with
around
the
his.
awesomely large gauges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like, so I actually, oh man, I think the first time I ever saw one of these guys in person was at like some zoo event in Astoria, Oregon, or Newport, something like that. Yeah, that was super cool.
I mean, honestly, you can't even really see how big this owl is in this video. I mean, it looks big, but she pulled that out at the booth, and it was like from my stomach up to my head. It was massive, and its eyes were so big, and it was just looking around and just loving life, or you know, I was loving life checking out this owl. It was really cool looking at this owl show.
So hey, you got a fan right here asking, when are the carpet eggs gonna be ready?
I don't really know, because I am diapausing them and doing something differently than what I usually do. So from my last experience, it took about 9 months for them to hatch. But you know, I might have been incubating them a little differently than I should have. So I'm thinking like within the next few months. The eggs are looking good. They're cooking. Things are going to be great. We're going to have some captive bred carpet chameleons.
You know, there's hardly any captive bred carpet chameleons. I thought John Iperdalis was working with carpet chameleons. Actually, you know what?
He's working with Furcifer minor.
You know what? Let's
and then Frank Payne has the carpets, and then there's probably a bunch of other people that we don't know, but there's not a lot in captivity. So it's really cool to see people putting in the effort to establishing awesome carpet chameleons in captivity.
You know what? Let's pull up some carpet chameleon images, because I haven't seen one since in a while. This is the one that you had during that import video, right?
Well, yeah, it looks similar to that. That looks like a female based on its colors. The males and females get absolutely beautiful.
So how much do these actually go for?
Anywhere from $200 to $400, depending on, you know, I guess just depending on the colors, the patterns, and where the market's at the time. Wild caught ones are a little cheaper, but realistically, they've been one of the biggest challenges for me in terms of imports. Wild caught panther chameleons and wild caught carpets. They're tough. They have high metabolisms. They stress out easily, and treating them isn't that easy. So, I mean, those will be a little cheaper, but captive bred babies, they do great in captivity. I love them. Yeah,
you know, like this was super rad actually seeing these during that import we did last April.
Yep.
When the unboxing, I mean. And if you guys haven't seen that video, go to my chameleon playlist and you guys can check that out. I promise you some really good stuff. And you really got lucky with that one, dude. All of them came looking extremely amazing, except for that Ankarami, I think it was, when I first opened that box. Dude, that thing looked like dog shit, dude.
Yeah, he was in bad shape.
I know. I felt so bad for the little guy.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more I want to talk about that, but we're going to save that for another stream.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get back to checking out some more of the animals from the show.
Woohoo!
Nick the Wrangler. There's that. Okay.
I really want to go herping with Nick. That would be so crazy.
Dude, so there was a crocodile monitor at the show. I don't know how, but I guess I just got the right glimpse on camera where his eye just looks completely ghosted out. But it's not like that. See, there it goes. It goes back to normal. So this is our buddy Ivan, man. He was so freaking funny, dude. He's such a ding dong, bro. But I think he was like one of my favorite people that I actually got to meet at the show.
Well, yeah, he also came over to the house too.
Yeah. Oh, I mean the house.
Yeah, we all got to hang out. It was fun. But yeah, that's the croc monitor I had for sale at the booth. Um, and he was absolutely beautiful. It was a female croc, again, mostly tail. That's an arboreal monitor. They it's been documented that they are the longest lizard on the planet. They can get longer than a Komodo dragon, which is really cool, but
Yeah.
not bigger.
Yeah, I know the Komodo dragons are just like the bulls of lizard. They're just like heavyweight champs.
Yep.
How old was this crocodile monitor?
I was told, since it was a wild caught import, I was told about 5 to 6 months old. Apparently, they grow extremely fast. So, and I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw it grow a little bit while I was, treating and acclimating it. So it was pretty cool. That thing was vicious though. But every time we took it out, it started hand feeding for me right away, which was a really good sign. But every time we took it out,
did you feed it like raw chicken or something?
no, cooked chicken, mice, a little bit of, just different types of proteins.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. By the way, guys, sorry if I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat. It's like I'm going through like a third party service, so it's kind of hard for me to like focus on everything.
Yeah, someone said there were two other ones at the show, and they were radical.
Oh, speaking, we were talking about the green belly lizard. Well, here's a green tree monitor. See, they look virtually the same, but this guy's much bigger, but like built the same. They're really skinny, super long tail.
We'll get a little bigger, right?
Yeah, they get up to about 3 feet long, but like, dude, I think like what, almost 2 feet of that's just straight tail.
Yep.
Dude, I don't even think this thing at the show was even as thick as a hot dog.
Well, they are slender lizards. They have to be fast in the trees so they can catch their prey because, it's all about the teeth and all about the jump and the attack and all that stuff. I mean, that's why the crocodile monitor's teeth are extremely sharp. They have the sharpest teeth in the whole lizard kingdom, and they have serrated teeth. So basically, like, when they bite, they got to kill like that. So
they do. So, okay, let's see. Oh, there's me acting like an idiot. Oh, dude. So Rare, how I was arguing with you about the skink at the show. I don't think you even saw this video yet, but dude,
no,
look,
I haven't.
there is the shingleback skink right here. So in case you guys don't know, this lizard is actually extremely rare. Like I had no idea this was actually going to be at the show over here.
That thing is so sexy.
Yeah, dude. I forget where it comes from. I think it's like Australia or something like that.
Yeah,
I didn't even have any facts to give about it during the interview or the video part of this. But yeah, like, dude,
rare.
I think like the guy, like I remember actually meeting. They were too shy to get on camera, so I can't show them. But Danny and his father, I actually met them at Tinley, right? And like they were telling me, like, yeah, we're gonna try to breed them, and I was like, you know how much you could probably sell that for? You could probably sell one of the babies for like $20,000, and someone would pay for it. He was like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, you have no idea how rare that lizard is. He was like, yeah, we do, but it's like, dude, yeah, this lizard was pretty cool though.
I've only seen them for sale one time. Never before I've been into reptiles since I was 12, and I'm 29 now. Turned 29 yesterday. Yay! Happy birthday to me. But I've only seen it for sale once, and that was from Ty Park a few years ago.
Really? I wonder how much he sold that for. Oh yeah, see, I was being a ding dong here since he was too shy during the video to get his face on camera. I was like, oh, thank you, Danny Shoes, and I just edited this stupid mustache and eyes on.
Hey man, you should grow a mustache like that. I think you look pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think I can. All right, let's see. What was the next animal? Shut up, iguana. Okay. Little breakdown part. All right, so we're gonna have to really bring back to this topic later of this guy.
That was pretty mind blowing.
Yeah. So guys, right here, this is a Boland's python. So this is like the holy grail, right? Like everybody wants this python. Look at these little babies right here. So these little babies, I had no idea they actually were like brown highlighted like this. I just like how the black goes over the browns like that. I forget how old he said they were, but yeah, this guy sold these Bolands for $25,000, dude. That is nuts. That is nuts. And I know I said we talk about it later, but real quick, guys. So When it comes to the recession right now in the market, I think I made another video before. I was talking about like, for breeders, there are still going to be like animal sales, but they're going to be like very minimal for the pet sales. But the higher end stuff's going to go. And just real quick, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this show, this guy only sold $250 worth of animals on day one, and then sold these for 25. I don't know. He sold a ball python. Ivan told me that, and I heard them talking about it. And then, boom, he sold this, dude. Bro, 25K. I remember telling this guy, I was like, dude, that's enough to pay my mortgage for a whole damn year, dude.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, dude. It's like, it's real, dude. Like, people think this is stupid, but you really can sell animals like that.
You just got to do it right.
Yeah.
All right. And that's why you and I are going to start upping our game, right? And get into the more rarer species to breed and work with.
Yeah, so real quick, guys, so here, okay, that's the end of that. We're just about to dive into the meat and potatoes.
Let's do it.
Okay, but let me see. Let's get back to that screen. How do I remove this? Bam. Sorry, guys. This is like the first time I'm using this program live. But okay. So what we're saying? Oh, yeah. So Mitch and I were kind of like talking to each other at the show. Like Mitch, this is like reptiles is my primary income, right? Mitch actually does this like full time for a living for a long while now, and me and him and I were just kind of talking about it the other day. Like, yeah, we make money off this, but like most of my sales are like what, $300 to the $500-$600 range, let's say roughly around there. But like, I don't know. I just think me and him, we're just kind of talking to ourselves like, dude, if you really want to do this full time, you can't really be like selling like the short, lower end, not lower end, but like the lower priced animals. Like, that's not even a paycheck animal right there, It's just like him and I were just talking about like, you really got to start like selling animals for a few $1,000s if you really want to do it for like a full time living.
Well, here's an example. So, as you know, my rent here is very, very expensive.
Way more than my mortgage.
Well, and about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I was trying to, I was like, well, how am I going to make this work? I want to breed chameleons full time and all the other things I do on the side. But the first thought I had, okay, I need to breed more. So that's what I did. I bred more. I had all my incubators packed. In my head, I was thinking like, okay, more chameleons for sale, the more I can support this company and myself. And I made a mistake because I didn't follow one of my golden rules, which is less is more. So I still have, by the way, if anyone wants to help me out, probably 400 chameleons for sale right now. I only have time to.
I thought you got rid of most of them at the show.
I did, but then I came back and, there's all those rooms still full with them. And I only I got rid of a good amount of them. Not got rid. I sold to some really awesome people at the show, but then I wholesaled at the end. And even then, I really do think I brought too many chameleons to the show.
Yeah, you did, bro. I've never seen you have so many damn chameleons at the show. But hey, at least you did a good job actually like keeping them in individual cages.
Yeah. But really quickly, so I made a mistake. I bred way too many. And then, what happens when they hatch? You have to take care and feed and love and put all that time and energy into all those animals. I've kind of gotten used to it, but it's like I have no time to do anything else but take care of these chameleons. And right now the market's a little weird. Like this, like it's pretty normal. Like around December when the holidays and all that, people aren't necessarily buying animals because they're focusing on getting gifts for family, all that stuff. And so it's been a little rough for me, but basically what I'm saying is I try to breed more to make it work. And I made a big mistake because I have not had any time to do anything. And ideally, if I could be breeding like, more parsons, and by the way, I'm gonna have parson eggs hatching soon. And be able to sell them for more. That way I can have less animals, be able to like go on a vacation, which I haven't done in forever. I'm
so sorry, bro.
No, you're all like going around all these shows.
I know, right? I'm just like, when I come visit you, it's like vacation for me, but it's just like, damn it, it's just work with a friend now.
Yeah, I have fun when you come over. That's my vacation too. But yeah, so I would like to ramp this up into a way where I am breeding more higher end animals. And don't get me wrong, I love panther chameleons. I love designing and creating the patterns and the colors and making the best of each locale, and then even like taking the different locales, breeding them together, and making like crazy stuff that doesn't exist anywhere else in America. And It's fun, but like if I did Parsons, then I'd have a lot less work to do, and I'd be able to make the same amount of money, if not more. Like my feeder bill is like it's like $600. It's like literally $400 a week, if not more, which is crazy. So,
yeah, my feeder bill, I think right now, even with some babies, I'm not heavily stocked. I think I got like 13 Panthers. I got one pre-sold for next week. And a few collar lizard babies. And with my personal collection, I got a pretty diverse collection by now. I think my feeder bill is around like 500, even on wholesale prices for the month.
That's a week. Oh, for the month, yeah. So I'm on a weekly basis plus employees.
Yeah. And real quick, guys, like I said, I made a good chunk of change this year with the reptile business, but I don't do this full time for breeding. If I like what Mitch was saying, if I did this full time, I wouldn't be able to host a stupid podcast. I wouldn't be able to make the dumb YouTube videos that you guys watch, which I appreciate. It's a lot of work, dude. You really have to go full time into it, like with employees, all that, picking crap every day. So, hate to say this, Mitch, but it sucks to suck. But
hey, man,
you do it what you love. I get that.
Yeah, I do what I love, but again, less is more. You can't. I'm extremely passionate about all animals, reptiles, chameleons, especially. But it's hard to enjoy it when it's like so overwhelming and all of that. Like, yeah, that's why we're cutting back big time, solidifying our projects, and hopefully going to move on to bigger and better things. But yeah, hey, do you wanna get into?
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Yeah, let's get into the meat and potatoes now. All right, so let's talk about So before the market crashes, the market's always booming. There's always that peak, right, guys? So let's see, when was the peak of the market? COVID, bro.
Hey, it's COVID,
dude. Okay, guys, so I haven't been doing this nearly as long as Mitch, but COVID was a year where I blew up. I was like, what the hell? I was selling animals and breeding for I think about a year and a half before COVID happened, but COVID just dude, it just blew out of the park for me. So I remember so I had about 100 chameleon babies during COVID, right? For me as a newer breeder, that was way too much. I was planning on doing 8 shows locally throughout the year, right? And when I was planning on doing that, COVID all of a sudden hit after the first show of the year. And I was like, oh crap, how am I going to sell these? Because I never wanted to sell online. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to ship an animal, then. And then, I don't know, by the time just somehow I just blew up and I was able to just find almost all 100 of the babies. I found them almost all new homes during that summer. And because of that, I was able to put a 10% down payment on my house. Most of that money came from chameleons too, and dude, that was just nuts. But honestly, when you say that was a fluke, Mitch, that was just a straight fluke.
100%. And basically, what I believe had happened during that is the government was handing out money, so people had more money to spend. During that time, we were kind of locked up in quarantine. Things were really weird. We couldn't go do our normal activities. And for me, at least, I always have reptiles, but I know a lot of people wanted companionship. They wanted something to do at home while they were stuck at home, or they just, the world was in such a chaotic state that, was in such a chaotic state that people wanted something that they can love and enjoy and take care of. Also, a thing that I notice a lot is a lot of families were wanting to bring reptiles into their home since school was out, or they were doing online schooling. I kind of like to look at it like, the cool science teacher that has like the reptiles and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they were buying them for the house for educational purposes, companionship, something to do, to teach responsibility. And there were a lot of sales. I mean, it was crazy. I remember there was a pet store called East Bay Vivarium up in Northern California, and they had a hard time staying in stock. They were selling so many things. At that point in time, they even opened an online shop where they were selling things, and things were just getting crazy. But what had happened is when things started getting back to normal and people were getting their jobs back, um, people didn't have time for these animals anymore. So like, I understand it was a fluke, but people still were impulse buying. And what had happened is a lot of people were returning their reptiles back to the store. The rescues got filled up because they had to go back to their jobs. They didn't have time to take care of these animals. And it was crazy. So there was just this huge, up and then down. um it was crazy.
Yeah, like, so I really do want to bring this point up too. Dude, ever since COVID, even shortly after, like near the end, like there just started becoming this big trend of like get rich quick scheme. Like, dude, especially with the ball python market. Like, dude, okay, so guys, I listen to a lot of different podcasts. I have been for years because I'm never gonna know it all. So podcasts
You're a
are the best
reptile
way
guy.
to. Yeah, I'm a reptile geek. So I listen to podcasts almost every day, a bunch of different people, and like literally the majority of them are always talking about how to make money with reptiles. At least the bigger ones. And it's just like it just became like this get rich quick scheme. And like, so a lot of people, I even hear this during like the newer breeders, like they say, yeah, during COVID I just bought out people's collections and stuff like that, or even shortly after it started finally dying down. And just like ever since then, it's just like so many people are just getting into reptiles just for the money. And like, dude, there's nothing wrong with making money off like your passion. If you're doing a good job and you want to make money off it, then that's totally different. But it just kind of pisses me off, dude. It's just like a lot of people are just getting into them for the wrong reasons. And that just like brings a lot of shit to the actual like community, the hobby, whatever you want to call it, dude. Like, and
Yeah.
now,
Really quickly, let me. So, I asked a few of our reptile keepers and people that have
mhm.
businesses what they think about the reptile industry and the market right now. And just kind of going along with what you're saying, Ivan sent me a really, really interesting thing. So he says, to me, the biggest problem with the reptile market is that all these people come into the hobby and see nothing but dollar signs. They
Oh
look at
yeah,
Yeah. They look at the animals as just objects instead of actual living things. I see more and more stories of neglect every day because someone will get an animal without knowing anything about it, and if it gets sick, they say they'll just get another one, and if it dies, or just get another one, and if it die, and not take it to the vet, not take care of it, and all that stuff. Sorry. He also says breeders and stores will sell an animal to anyone just to make a quick buck. I hate that. And don't care what happens to the animal after. Teenagers buying venomous because they think it's cool without any prior experience. Everything about the reptile hobby now is either a money thing or a cool thing. You don't see as many people that are in it for the love like they used to be. The word basic gets tossed around so much now. A $20 normal ball python requires the exact same care as a $10,000 ball python, but they'll call the normal basic. It's the same care. The love of the animals is disappearing and being replaced with the love of the dollar signs. And I thought that was gold.
no, it truly is, dude. So like, guys, so like when it comes to my personal reptile collection, I think the only thing that I have when it comes to morphs is hognose snakes. Dead ass. Like that's the only thing I can think of right now. Every single animal that I've ever shown in my videos, the electric blue day geckos, the blazing blue collar lizards, those are locales. Everything is locales for me. More of the natural form of the animal, except for the hognose snakes.
How about the
You know,
pied pectinata? Because, well, I guess that was
I think they are locales. I think I was hearing something about Ty Park saying it in one of his little reels or something like that from
they
a
are on the
while ago.
wild.
Yeah.
Like that in the wild, but people have brought them in to selectively breed those
No,
traits.
I think they are like that. There's locales of them, so they vary. I'm not an expert on it, so I can't give you the answer, but that's what I interpreted from Ty Park.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like it just kind of sucks, dude. You know, like especially with like the ball python community, dude. You know, like I kind of feel bad for them because it's just like every time they work like for the next 2 or 3 years to get like some special morph, dude, it literally drops in value so hardcore, dude. And then like after that, I even heard this in podcasts. Like, yeah, that recently I heard it, but yeah, they'll say, yeah, that morph it was worth like $1,400 a little bit ago. Now it's like $200, so it's just a garbage morph. It's just like, damn, bro.
So
And
so here's just some quick advice in terms of people that are getting into breeding or trying to hop onto new things. Before you do it and impulsively buy things because you think you're going to make money, or if you just love the animals, um, study the market first. Study where it is. Study the trends. I know people that are just jumping into ball pythons because they see the dollar signs, but it's like the thing you don't realize exactly what you said in 3 months or 3 years, that thing's going to be probably a quarter of what you're expecting to make or breed. So do it because you love it, or if you're trying to make some money off of it, be smart about it. You know,
yeah,
don't just breed to breed and then just create more things that we already have too many of a lot of these things we work with, like bearded dragons, ball pythons, leopard geckos. Yeah.
yeah, dude. You know, I feel like when it comes to the morph market for like geckos, it's not nearly as bad as the ball python. Because, like, let's say this, dude. Like, I feel like crested gecko breeders, yeah, they're always chasing for a morph. So are gargoyle geckos, but there's not really too many options. But I
Hey,
think
they're about to be.
yes, there are more. We'll probably say that for another podcast or something. But yeah, dude. You know, I've even noticed, dude. Like, even the breeders will actually like handle their animals and stuff. You know, I just feel like the gecko breeders, they actually do like their animals and not just specifically genetics, but that doesn't apply for everyone, you know.
Hey, just something that I've seen lately. How do you feel about people feeding? So there's people that are trying to hit these crazy morphs now in gargoyle geckos, right? And really, to get to that point, which is I don't like at all, you have to like line breed or even inbreed to get the gene and the morph to come out.
Bro,
So
that's always been like that with morphs.
I know it has.
Come on, don't act like this is news.
I get it, but like, there's ways you could do it differently a little. But also, now I'm seeing them feeding off the eggs that didn't make it or the dead babies.
Oh no, I swear I saw that just in a Facebook group post the other day.
It's like, what?
Someone, are you talking about live babies or a dead baby?
Dead babies.
Saw it for I saw it for a dead baby. You know,
like, how do you feel about that? Like, I don't know. It's like kind of sad seeing
it is sad,
like,
but
an adult like Garg.
So okay. So what I saw was someone fed a crested gecko baby that didn't make it out of the egg back to the parent.
Yeah, that's
back to the parent. Like, dude, that's just foul, dude. Like,
yeah.
Why make your animals cannibals, dude? Like, what the hell is that shit, dude? Like,
no animal.
Okay, it'd be one thing, like, you know, I fed off a couple dead baby chameleons to like one of my collar lizards before, you know, dead to my collar lizards, a different animal, you know. Like, dude, a lot of breeders actually do this with like animals. They don't want to waste it. I get where you're coming. I get where you're coming from. It feels wrong, but if it's to a different species, that's just a circle of life, dude. Even lychee geckos, they eat gargoyle geckos in the wild, dude. Even cresties, you know, like
cool.
A lot of these geckos, they eat each other, other animals, you know. So it's kind of the natural way of life.
Yeah, but feeding it back to the parent, like, ugh.
Yeah, that's just foul, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to so let's talk how it's the state of the market's affecting us now as more niche reptile breeders. Okay, so real quick, guys, Mitch and I, we work with chameleons. Oh wait, that's not niche. Well, guys, if you really think about it, chameleons don't even make 1% of the reptile hobby. Really think about that. It may seem like that to you in California, Mitch, but you're in the state of backyard breeders or chameleons. Like when I went to Tinley, no one had chameleons except for one dude, and he had like 5 little panthers. the biggest, the legendary, the Super Bowl of reptile shows. They hardly had any chameleons.
Wow.
Weird, right?
I gotta
So
go.
that's yeah, you totally do. We got to go this October. I'm going back in March, but yeah, dude. So like, how's the market been for you, like lately?
So, like I said, I think that during the holidays, every single year, no matter what, it's always been a little weird. Prior to the holidays, though, we were doing pretty good. We post something online and it'd sell. I wouldn't even have to have a conversation, or attempt to make the sale for, people would just go on the website and buy a chameleon that they like and they're happy. We'll contact them after, make sure they got, everything that they need for it to be successful. But it was doing pretty good. But like the last like 2 or 3 months, it's been pretty slow. I'll have to be real with you on that. I hate to say it, but it's definitely been slower.
And for you, that really, since you do it full time, that's a real big stretch.
Yeah, that's
So,
why the Super Show was very helpful. But yeah, we still have so many chameleons.
so let me ask you this: did you actually do as good as you were expecting to at the show, or?
Well, so
I mean, I know you treated yourself to some nice toys, but overall, with the massive amount of chameleons you brought, that's what I mean.
I traded for those toys, but yeah, I guess that was a
Oh.
treat. But yeah, Pokemon trading, let's go.
Yeah.
The show was good. I for sure, like in my mind, I was like, yeah, these two pairs of Parsons are gonna sell. I sold one pair, a baby captive bred and an adult wild caught for future breeding for the client, and didn't sell any of the other adult Parsons, and I didn't even sell the crocodile monitor. That's what I used to trade for what I'm going to show you guys later. But oh, cool, thank you. Yeah, so I mean, I really needed the show. We made a good amount of money. There's a lot of happy customers, a lot of smiles, a lot of good stuff, and it really helped to kind of make up for the last like 2 or 3 months that have been rough. But again, the shows don't come all the time, and who knows where the market's going to be at. I really think this show, people weren't wanting to, because of like, how like iffy this feeling of this recession is. I don't think people wanted to pay big bucks. So we sold a lot of Panthers, a lot of Jacksons, a lot of cool little creatures. I sold one of those, crabs.
The little zombie crabs, dude.
Yeah, the one that, that video now is like 2.1 million views on
Actually,
it.
here, you know what? Let's pull them up. Hey, real quick, we're going to pull up the zombie crab. This thing was pretty rad. Okay, screen
Thank
share.
you. And make sure the dubstep's playing over it too.
I have sound off. It's just, I don't know. I got to learn the system still, dude. Let's see.
Love my bass heads.
Right here. Is this a real? I mean, look at, here. Let me make it bigger.
That claw was massive. I love how everyone's posting like Kingler.
Yeah, bro. Oh, shoot. That thing is massive, bro.
It's crazy. Once the videos go viral, like there's like people that aren't like my followers that are commenting. And I'll tell you something, man. There are some not nice people out there on the internet.
Oh, yeah, bro. That one time I had my little stupid poison dart frog reel get like 5 million views. Oh, do you want to die, dude? This is bad for the hobby. I'm like, bro, these are captive bred. They're not even poisonous. You're going to kill someone with that, dude. I'm going to be laughing when you end up dead on Instagram. I'm just like, shut up, bro.
Yeah, that's funny.
Just a bunch of Karens, bro. All right. Let's see.
So I guess to kind of sum it up, didn't do as good as I planned. Didn't sell the more expensive animals, but I needed that show, and I'm looking forward to the next one. We're going to be doing Central Valley Reptile Expo in Bakersfield in February. So we'll see how that one goes.
Sounds like a crappy reptile expo.
No. The people who put it together are freaking amazing. And honestly, I really have fun interacting with the people at the show. And another good thing about the show is, maybe you won't make a ton of money, but the connections that you make, the friends that you make, and potential sales, Yeah, I did that show in Victorville where, I literally didn't expect to make too much money, but I had this awesome customer and he's still buying stuff from us, and it's helping a lot. So, you never know what's going to come out of a reptile show.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, I always like, dude. So, guys, when I travel around, of course, I hear what every breeder comes up and says. I didn't do good. I did dog shit. I should have even came to the show. I'm like, bro, that's expected sometimes, bro. It's a hit or miss. I've done bad at shows. Like, shut up, quit crying, get your name out there. You can't just be another poser ass Instagram account hiding behind a computer screen all day, like me and Mitch right now. But no, like, dude. So when I first started vending, I lost a couple $100 off my very first clutch, but like I started like ever since then. Every time I do one show, someone grabs a business card and I sell like a Chameleon a week later or something like that, And
you never know.
yeah. But okay, I'm going to talk about how it's been for me this year. So I'll be honest with you guys. I did have my best year ever, and I'm just going to be straight out my numbers. So for me, this was amazing for me, but I don't do this full time. I made 65K with animals on a small scale breeder level. That was really great for me, but I was an idiot. I blew it all like crazy. Every show I dropped like another $1,000 on like some new hognose snakes. And when you buy an animal, you got to get equipment, right? So I did that, a lot of traveling, but I just saw a lot of this as like reinvestment with myself. But what was I gonna go with that? Yeah, it was my best year. But here's the thing: I made sales throughout the beginning of the year, and then tax season. Come on, everyone did good during tax season, right? I mean, did you do good during tax season?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But then, like, when summer came, things started dying out, dude. Like, I vended the PAC NWS show up at North, had a bunch of collared lizards. I think I had 20 of them. I didn't even announce them on my social media pages because I was like, I really want to share the love with like locally with those animals. It's just something more special to me about that. Get them established over here. But like I only sold like 5 of them, dude, and I was fucking pissed. I was hella pissed, dude. Like I mean, I think I brought home like $4,000 from that show, but like no, this is like a show where I was like, I'm gonna make like 10K. For me, that's really great. Didn't get close. I was pretty mad, but it is what it is. These kind of things happen. You can't get your hopes up too much. But after that,
4K is pretty good.
Huh?
4K is pretty good, no matter what, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it depends on what level you're trying to do at. Like some people really always are trying to aim for like the 20K, and they actually do hit it most of the time. If you're okay for you, would you want 4K or would you want higher for what you do full time?
Well, I mean, when I did the Victorville show, I only did like 2K, if only that. I mean, I paid like $700 for a hotel room for me and my buddy Tyler. Love that guy. Tree cams on Instagram. Yeah. But no, the connections that I made after that were great. And that's another thing. Darby! That's another thing. Like, I think in life, like, don't go into things with high expectations because they might not be met. And for me, like, I have in the past made that mistake. And like when I could have been having a good time at the show, I'm just like, darn, I'm not making enough money. Darn, I got to pay these bills. Like,
exactly,
it ruined it for me. It honestly did. So it's like now I'm just trying to take another mindset and
make the best of it that you can.
Yeah, be grateful for whatever happens.
Yeah, I had the same thing happen to me at that July show, dude. Like, yeah, like I was actually pretty upset. Like during the vendor dinner, I was like, dude, vending shows are stupid, bro. I just made a $1,200 sale from one person sitting at the dinner table. All lines better, blah blah. But then I just chilled out. I was like, bro, just have fun, dude. Just have fun. Quit being a bitch. Like, I'll admit, sometimes I'm a little whiny crybaby over some things, but like, dude, that's not the mentality you should have,
Especially when you're stuck in the back of a truck.
Yeah. But let me finish up what I was saying. So the last part, yeah, so I did actually selling a lot of those collar lizards shortly because of my YouTube followers. And if any of you guys bought a collar lizard from me, thank you. I hope they're doing great. Yeah, I sold like $6,000 worth literally a couple weeks later because content creation helps. And real quick, guys, since this is a recession, really, you're kind of forced to be a content creator right now if you really want to get your animals out there, marketing, posting, pictures, all that, blah, blah. Did you just? Sorry. Let me see. Thank you, Darcy. That's the first super chat I've ever gotten.
Wow.
Thank you. And you know what? It would be. I think it would be fun to have Darby back on real
Yeah,
quick. Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Even if you're a ding dong, it would be if just match the frequency of us. She was really fun during the Instagram live we did months back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she can explain a whole nother market for us from the East Coast. I mean, she went to a Repticon, which was surprising, in North Carolina, and she said it was like massive and like crazy. So it'd be really cool to hear about her experiences there. You know. So are you done? I kind of wanted.
Yeah, just about. So, but like after that, guys, I'm pretty much sold out of animals all last year, and I think from October to the end of the year, I sold one animal, and that's only because Mitch sent them my way. Just FYI. And now, even with like shipping, like resuming, and the weather being okay, I think I got 3 or 4 animals lined up, and this sounds nice, but I think it's only like probably $1,200 to $1,500. And I'm just like, man, after months, I'm just like, no, that's not really that much.
No.
And I'm gonna blow it on something stupid,
Hey,
not save it.
Impulsive. Don't not be.
We'll talk about that near the end.
Yeah. By the way, you still have Nosy Bays, right?
I still do got no save.
Yeah. So for anyone who is loving me and Ryan's energy and wants some of our hard work with the Nosy Bay Productions, Ryan has an amazing Nosy Bay line. I have 2 amazing Nosy Bay lines. We can work out something where you can get a pair from both of us and have two unrelated Nosy Bays and start your own Nosy Bay Productions.
So real quick, since we're talking about, real quick,
Yeah.
this is like my no-say base that I have right now. This is actually already pre-sold. This is like a month ago, so most of them are like this or even bluer now. So just FYI, guys, if you're interested in that.
And for those that don't know, Nosy Bay is an island locale off the coast of Madagascar, where the ones that we work with in captivity are blue, all blue, and they're freaking beautiful, and they're just really cool panther chameleons. I kind of wanted to share this opinion from Liz Kid Monitors, my buddy
let's
Nick.
do it.
So a little breakdown on my boy Nick here. He's the one who actually got me into breeding panther chameleons over 10 years ago. I was in a psychology class in college, and he was sitting next to me, and somehow we found out that we both love reptiles. It's called Liz Kid Monitors if you want to bring up his page. And then you're probably going to go crazy about his blue tree monitors there.
Hey, you want me to pull up his page?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What is it?
It's Liz Kid Monitors.
Liz Kid Monitors. Okay. All right, keep going. I'm pulling it up.
Well, so yeah, he was sitting next to me in my psych class, which was a great class. But and we were kind of like talking about reptiles, and little did he know is that I've started breeding reptiles when I was like 12, and he bred chameleons. I was like, what? People do that? Like I've never gotten one because I heard that they're the hardest things to take care of and they just die and this and that and blah, 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 which is not true. And so after my freshman year of college, here, do you want me to make sure?
I can't find it.
Okay, hang on. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Liz Kid Tree Monitor.
Oh, okay. There we go.
LIZKID Tree Monitor. My apologies, Nick. So after my freshman year of college, I rewarded myself with a baby panther chameleon, and his name was Bear. He is the Ambelovi panther chameleon that started all of the West Coast Chameleon Brothers, and I still have some of his genetics in the bloodlines that we have today. But anyways, so here's some. I asked him last night what he thinks about the standing state of the reptile market and the industry right now, and here's some things that he said. So, did you find it?
No, I did it.
Okay. Once people start breeding more, so that animal is no longer intriguing. Okay, here we go. This is his opinion. Once people start breeding more, so that animal is no longer intriguing to me because as soon as the economy is down, they act like collectibles and are quickly discarded almost like Pokemon cards. 2, I think the reptile hobby closely follows a booming versus recession economy. During a boom, we see a lot of new keepers. And during the recession, we see a lot of bearded dragons, cheap monitors, tegus, and iguanas available for rehoming because they were impulse buys when people had more money. That is so true.
Dude, dead
Um,
ass, bro.
3, we are still in a weird state because there are so many new keepers during COVID that the hobby is all over the place. And I agree.
That kind of brings us to like the current state of the market. Oh,
It's weird, yeah, because it's like we're still coming out of COVID. Most of these new guys who like went in it for the money or just because they had the time, like you don't see them anymore, like during COVID. Um, yeah, it's weird.
yeah, dude. And you know what really sucks right now? So like everyone's still, dude. Well, they're not on that hype train anymore, but everyone's was like running on that fuel of the hype train from COVID. Still, mass producing eggs left and right. Just, dude, I hear so many times. What's how from ball python breeders on podcast? How many eggs or how many clutches do you want to produce a year? I'm expecting to do 75 to 100 clutches. Let's say they lay a dozen eggs. I'm just like, dude, bro, that is so many snakes to deal with, especially since that is the most bred animal. Like, dude, there are what I think I was seeing something that there are 40 to 50,000 ball pythons on morph market right now. That is ridiculous, dude. And like, dude, these people don't understand. These animals live for like 20 years, dude. It's not like they're gone 5 years later or some shit like that, dude. So it's like, man, like, why do people want to keep posting or breeding more ball pythons over and over again? And like, dude, okay, guys, real quick, I'm not trying to like dog on the ball python community. If you want to breed ball pythons, go ahead, as long as you're passionate about it. But I'm just being honest with you guys that there is just an oversaturation with the ball python market, and it's a little disgusting right now. My honest opinion, it's
And,
foul.
and also it kind of takes away from, yeah, I'm not hating either. Like I love all reptiles, but this is just something I see. Like you go to a reptile show and half of them are ball python booths. But like, in any industry or any niche animals that you're breeding, the more it's mass produced, the more the price is going to go down. Because everyone's going to have them, everyone's going to want to sell them. Then there's going to be that one person that wants to sell them quicker, so he drops the price, and then it just keeps going lower and lower and lower until a $10,000 ball python.
And everything becomes the next garbage animal,
Yeah.
recycle. Oh, this morph stuff. Oh, I got this $2,000 morph. It's so awesome 2 years later.
And the same thing with bearded dragons. I mean, honestly, and I breed bearded dragons. That was the first thing I ever started breeding. And right now is not the season, so you don't see that many of them available. But like when it's like spring or like when they start hatching during summer, it's crazy saturated.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, and the price just plummets.
Yeah.
And I really do feel like that's the same thing that's going to happen with um, panther chameleons. I mean, like really,
Dude, I honestly been predicting it too. That's why I only want to do probably 4 clutches max a year, dude.
and
For
I
me.
didn't. The only reason why I bred so many is because I needed to pay my bills and keep the company afloat. But but also it's an art form for me. I love creation. I love designing chameleons. And it's like I had a palette and with all these colors, and my main thing right now are the white and red hybrids with Cap S and Ambelobe. Um, it's there's just too many out there, and there was a lot of competition at the reptile show. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, I've never seen so many like chameleons at the Reptile Super Show. That was nuts. And dude, that was stupid. That one guy that had literally like 20 adult
Oh,
males in one
okay,
thing.
that pissed me off. Now, okay, so at the show, guys, there was a breeder, or I don't even know what, and he had like 20 adult males in one cage together. I was tempted to go up to him and be like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You're teaching, you're showing people that this is okay. That is not okay. They were all fired up. They were all pissed off. And it was crazy. But yeah, that's a pure Sambava, but the white and red one, that's kind of my specialty that I'm working on right now is that designer hybrid. That one's cool because that's a 75% Cap S, 25% Ambelobe. I bred a Cap S to one of my 50-50 crosses, and he's like mainly white with red bars. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's Arlo, baby.
Arlo. All right. Okay, I totally had. Oops, I didn't. Why are you got? Oh, you're right there. Sorry, I had a brain fart. What were we talking about before that?
I kind of got off topic too. can I give another quote of the reptile market, and then we can move on to some other stuff really quickly?
Yeah, let's answer this person's question real quick.
Okay.
Do you think the same can be said for leopard geckos?
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. I feel like there's becoming less leopard gecko breeders as of lately,
Well,
though.
the market,
Or they don't. I don't see them as much as the shows lately.
well, yeah, I think it's like the way it goes. Like I remember 2 or 3 years ago, they were everywhere, and I think a lot of people got out of it, because the market had done its thing. It crashed. Um, if you're gonna breed something, unless you're just doing it for experience and stuff, like, breed the high ends, breed the unique stuff. Create something cool, create something new.
Which is hard. Which is hard to make it
It's hard. It's because what you got to do is you got to understand the genetics first. Like, do you know how many years it's taken me to understand panther chameleon genetics? And I don't even have a full understanding of it. But yeah, I mean, leopard gecko, the market might start picking back up again, but it was very saturated a few years ago, and that's why I believe that there's a lot less breeders. Anyways, all right, can I give a little more input?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I also reached out to the snake father, also known as the snake daddy. And he does something really cool. That's why I really wanted to hear his opinion. He rents out beautiful, big and small tame, like awesome snakes to do photo shoot. You should look him up.
I am.
The snake father to do photo shoots. I like to call it like Hollywood shoots, but like, with like models and stuff with beautiful snakes like climbing around them, and he rents them out, and it's really cool. I mean, he even asked me if we can bring one of the big Parsons onto the set, and I'm considering it. But
there's a photo of you and him with the Parsons.
There's us. Yeah, he was over. It was awesome. But so he says, in my opinion, the current state of the reptile market is very different from how it was in years past. On one hand, the market has become saturated, which has caused prices to plummet with particular species and morphs of reptiles. But on the other hand, access to social media and direct resources have created a whole new audience within the hobby. I agree. These changes have both pros and cons, respectively, and will continue to affect the market in the future. I like that too. I mean, it kind of shows it's like a double-edged sword almost. Oh. Everyone could see our outline.
Whatever. But yeah, dude, it really is. And I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Sometimes, kind of looking up the media stuff, it kind of like it's like looking at your cell phone when you're trying to watch a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
I'm getting excited. I could do this for another hour with you, but I know we don't want to make this too long. So.
Mm-hmm. I want to. So, guys, when it comes to this, the recession, a lot of people will say it only lasts about a year and a half, max 18 months, something like that. But you know what? Even if I really do believe in that's true. But here's the thing, dude. With all these animals right now, even geckos, like, dude, I've talked to so many different people from across the country in person at these shows. And they're just saying it's all down. And dude, so many, even during this recession, people are going to hold on to so many animals over and over again. Even when people start getting money back, it's still going to be oversaturated for quite a while. Think of it as a lag kind of thing, Technically, the recession started early last year, but animal sales were still happening. But then it started catching up with like, oh crap, it's not selling. Basically, even when the money comes back, people are going to be a little careful at first. But when people do start buying the animals, they're only going to be buying the older stock that's still like way oversaturated. Some breeders are just going to keep still overproducing, and it's going to take a while for it to catch back up to like where it's not so oversaturated. And in my prediction, that could be about probably like 2-3 years. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, and I also think it's also in the hands of the breeders and the pet shops. Like, I think if we took a bigger focus on selling to the right people, the people that will, take care of them properly, that will do it responsibly, instead of just selling an animal for a sale, making sure that these people are going to take on the commitment of taking care of this animal, I think it'll help because, you know, the worst thing is that the rescues are still filling up like big.
Oh, dude.
And it's sad. It's like, you know, that is a outcome of this industry to some degree. And it's like, if I wish that, you know, everyone who bought a Chameleon from me or whatever, bearded dragon, whatever it is, you know, would keep it forever. And I know that's not the case all the time.
No,
I
it's
know
not.
things come up in life. I get it. But it's just crazy, like, to see how full the rescues are right now.
Yeah, dude. No, I totally agree, though. Like, dude, sometimes when I see someone rehoming an animal, I sold them. Sometimes it's for a good reason, and sometimes it's like, damn, bro.
Yeah,
Ouch.
or reselling it.
Ouch, bro.
Yeah.
Where was I gonna go next with that? Total brain fart.
So what are some steps we could take to be better responsible breeders?
You know, when it comes to that, dude, I think right now people need to stop trying to produce so many damn eggs or so many damn clutches right now. Like, okay, so yeah, last 2022, yeah, you have a problem.
I do have a problem. I'm working.
Okay, so you know how I said I did like my best year, made 65K? I honestly really slowed down on breeding. I think I only have 6 eggs in the incubator right now. Electric blue day geckos. That's it. At the current moment, I was just like, nope. You know, I don't even know if I'm going to hit 30K this year, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but also you're putting your creativity and your energy and your love into, you know, the channel and to YouTube, and that, like, that's more than the money, because I know it's not making that much money right now, but you're also educating people, you're inspiring people, you're showing from your perspective your love and your passion and what makes keeping these reptiles truly exciting and personal, you know. I'm actually really proud of you, man. You're kicking ass on YouTube. And yeah, if you start breeding more, then you're gonna have less time to do that.
Yeah, no, like, you know, honestly, I don't want to breed reptiles full time. I really don't want it to be my primary income. I really don't. That just does not sound like fun. That sounds like stress, especially for times like this. You know, like, I'm honestly trying to get multiple incomes. That's really the way to go nowadays. I'm hoping one day the content creation will actually pay the mortgage. If it does that, I'm happy, bro. But no, like, yeah, when it comes to my channel, I'm honestly a lot more about the pet tuber side. The classic pet tuber that everyone roasts about. I don't give two craps. I am proud of showing people how fun the animal can be, how, like, to actually try to take better care of them. And I'm never always going to be right. I'm always learning. That's like my favorite part about keeping these animals, dude. And I just want to help educate and inspire people to actually do a little bit better, you know, just try to be better. It's not always about the money, like most ball python keepers.
You mean breeders?
Breeders, yeah. Sorry, keepers. Sorry.
Yeah, and then also, yeah, you got to do it for the passion, but also, you know, do your research about the specific market you are targeting before investing time and money. That way, you know, like, that way you just with anything, you know, you got to do your research. You got to see what you're getting yourself into. And also making sure that the people that you are selling your animals to are educated and that they are ready for the commitment. You know, it'd be cool if we can have them sign a contract almost, but
it doesn't work like that.
No, I know it doesn't. But, you know, so my friend, let's get out of the seriousness. I want to know more about what your impulse buys / animal pickups were at the Reptile Super Show.
Okay, guys. So real quick. So yeah, we're going to get on that. So it was so funny. Like, I picked up some animals, right? I was planning to get like a couple of geckos, and I got them. That was the original plan. And then when I got to the show, near the very end, I started looking out. Then I was like, oh my God, that's my dream reptile. And like, so I bought it. I bought it. I started walking back down the hall to Mitch's booth, and all of a sudden Mitch is like carrying this like big ass like tote of like some. I'm gonna let you reveal it, but me and him look at each other. What'd you get, dude? And I was just like, oh my God, I hate us, bro.
Yeah,
I hate us.
yeah. So it's funny because we're also guilty of doing it. But I mean, listen, like I haven't seen you buy an animal that you got rid of. You're keeping it. You're keeping them.
Pretty much, yeah.
For
No,
me,
really.
for me, the animals that I got, it's for a breeding project, and the one that were in that big tote, that was I had a book when I was like 6 years old, and I marked all the reptiles that I wanted to keep, and that was one of them. So this is a dream of mine. I love the lizard, and it's a breeding opportunity for me in a market that is not saturated.
Okay. So I'm going to show you guys what I got. So I didn't even show this in my tour video that I posted earlier this morning. So I actually ended up getting a couple of these scorpion-tailed geckos. Yeah, look at them, dude. They look so stupid, dude. I mean, okay, look at that bitchin' face, bro. Here, let me see if I can zoom it. No, wrong one. Let me see if I can zoom in on the screen. Oh, crap.
Oh, I see your Facebook.
Well, they got this really cute pigeon face. Oh, no.
It's okay, man. You're doing good. You're doing great.
But yeah, they got these really cute tails that actually like curl up like a scorpion and they wiggle it around.
They have really cute faces, I'm not going to lie.
They do. And they're really cheap. And dude, they're so bold. I've already been handling them. They've already ate like 3 times for me, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, guys, I work with niche reptiles. I'm a reptile hipster, I guess. I like working with things that no one has. And I think I could get some traction on these guys.
Yeah. No, I think you can too. They're starting to become a little more popular.
Yeah.
So,
and
I love how the tails curl. That's just like awesome.
I know,
Is
right?
that why they call them the scorpion-tailed gecko?
Oh, no, they don't. No? They eat scorpions. That's why they get called that.
Oh, yeah.
And then this, you guys probably saw this in the tour video, but this is the animal I impulse bought, dude. I mean, look at that, dude. How could you not want to? That thing's cute as hell, dude. So, like, this is called the Diamondback Terrapin, dude. And I just love this animal. It's a white turtle. I've been wanting one of these for years now. And then, suddenly I saw it and I was like, damn. Okay, you got me. You got me sold.
So, is that what you were holding when you saw me holding my guy?
Yeah, this is what I was holding. But yeah, like, dude, I already got like a 180-gallon fish tank ready for this guy. Probably will need a couple years till he's ready for it. But he's super cool. I just got him in a little 20-gallon tank right now. He's eating well for me. But okay, let's go to
my screen.
Let's go to your screen. Oh, yeah.
Here, this was the thing I was holding when Ryan and I were like, what is
this? Dude.
This is a big, giant Mexican beaded lizard. This has been a dream of mine since I was a young kid. And these guys are actually venomous. It's crazy. They're one of 2 venomous species in America. I don't know if it's the whole world of lizard. And I gave it a kiss.
My God, you actually did it! Dude, I was scared that thing would probably bite you on freaking video and it'd just be a nightmare, dude.
Oh, I mean, that would be crazy, but no, he's a dog. He's such a sweetheart. No one else do this at home. He's been in brumation, so he's cold. He's not like active, but check out that tongue, dude. It's crazy.
That is pretty rad, dude. So, guys, real quick, like, I was kind of nervous because Mitch said he wanted to pull it up. Oh, Long Shots Chameleon says, sup, Mitch and Ryan. It's crack-lacking, man.
What's up, brother?
No, I was kind of worried about him doing. I was like, Mitch, I don't think that's a good idea. And the reason why is because I was actually interviewing someone at a show before, right? And he was holding a beaded lizard. And real quick, guy handled it like a jackass, and he got bit. He got straight up bit on video. Had to go to the hospital and everything. I won't say where at, but like, it was pretty bad, dude. Started getting dizzy. I guess he had to get put on like the breathing machine. And like, even though it's not a fatal like venomous lizard, venom affects everyone differently, dude. You know, some people just say, "Oh, I got like sick for like 2 hours and I was good." This guy got hospitalized, and he was a big ass dude, bro. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know about that.
So just to add on, I've been studying these guys' behavior for a while. If I knew he was, I would not have done that if I knew that. Of course, you can never tell for sure what an animal is going to do, but I've been doing this for 10 years, and I've gotten very good at reading a lizard's behavior. Snakes, that's a whole nother question. Like, on top of that little thing that I got this white lip python, and I can't read these guys. I'm actually a little scared of these guys, to be honest. But I just wanted to show you the white lips on this cutie. But yeah, I can't read these guys for shit.
With snakes, super fast tongue flick. That means back the fuck off. Just saying. Super fast tongue flicks. If it's not nice and slow, they're just more curious. And I've noticed usually most of the time before a snake like strikes, and I'm not no snake expert, but they usually like kind of do that like strike back like an S shape, you know, like they're about to do some kung fu shit on you.
Yep.
Yeah, bro. Like that's how I usually know, like with my green tree pythons.
The defensive posture.
Yeah. And so how'd you get those lizards or animals?
I traded for them.
What'd you trade?
I don't want to say it, but I traded my crocodile monitor.
Oh, you gave him that Pokemon card? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yep. Yeah, but it was a good trade. I know that the guy I traded with is very happy. He got a female crocodile monitor, and I'm extremely happy. So this has been a dream come true for me. I mean,
even though it was an impulse, like me, yeah, I agree.
But I have plans, and you have plans with yours too. But yeah, I'm not trying to justify it. It was an impulse.
Honestly, dude, it was funny, guys. So I was actually like sitting in the car with Mitch, like after the show, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, dude, so Mitch, did I impulse buy this?" He was like, "Did you plan on buying it at the show? Do you have a tank ready?" And I was like, "No." Yeah, you did impulse buy it. I was like, "What?" Yeah, so technically we both did it, but there's no justifying it. Don't do what we did. Get your shit straight ahead of time. But like, yeah, it happened, man.
Yeah, it happened. We're guilty for it too, you know. Just don't be like us. That's simple.
Yeah. Okay. So, is there anything else that I feel like we honestly forgot a lot of things I wanted to say, but it's just kind of one of those things you can't remember everything at once. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about with the market? Do you guys have any questions you want answered about the market too? The state of the market.
And you know, guys, we're not experts. We just have a lot of experience in it, and we have a lot of people, friends in the industry that gave really good feedback. And you know, we study things at shows. You know, we ask people questions, and we get feedback on how they're doing. If they did great, if they didn't, you know, what their mistake was, blah 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 blah.
You know what I'm gonna say, guys. You know, I'm going to add on, if you guys really do want to like still breed with the current market, I think the best choice is probably go for the higher end animals, really, morphs. And don't overbreed right now. Buy them as babies. Take the time to wait to grow them out, dude. A lot of the animals, a lot of the money that I blew this last year was all investments in new animals. I'm growing them out, dude. I might not have babies for like 2 years, so that's probably like $30K in the hole I'm really waiting on to come back to me, but it's okay. It is what it is. So that, learn how to market. Start making those stupid TikToks. God, I hate short form content. Start doing all that stuff if you really want to like start building a brand. Even if you don't have babies right now, just post your breeders, post some educational thing. Honeypot some people, dude. Okay, we do have one question. Vega Morphs, Crack Lagging Player. Do you recommend keeping chameleons on a thermostat? I've never done that before.
It depends on where you live, but really the best thing for a chameleon is to get a temp gun and to have proper measurements and readings in your cage. So like basking spot, 85 to 90, ambient room temp like 75 or lower, 70 to 75. I mean, I might keep them a little differently than some people, but that's what has worked very successfully for me. Thermostat, I mean, yeah, that's okay, I guess, to like keep the temperature from not fluctuating, but chameleons like light. If your heat bulb is turning on and off like throughout the day,
yeah, you got a point there.
That might be a little weird. So
trying to give that fucker a seizure. Shit.
Yeah. So no, just be a little more proactive with your temps. Get a $15, $20 temp gun on Amazon. Check the basking spot, check the ambient, check the rest of the cage, get the proper lights, and make sure it doesn't get too hot because you can burn your chameleon that way.
Yeah. All right, I think this is gonna be the wrap, guys, because I am starting to get pretty hungry and I want to play with some lizards. But hey, Mitch, I want to say thank you so much for your time, and I want to thank actually everyone for coming on today, dude. Like it was great. I enjoyed this, and
It was
you
fun.
know, I think we should do this like every 2 weeks.
I
How's that
love
sound to
that.
you?
We
Every
should.
2 weeks,
As long as
and
next time you say Mighty Morphin Chameleon Brothers and Reptile Nerds with me.
oh my god, only if you're the Mighty Morphin Power Bottom.
All right.
Oh god, I hate you. All right, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Peace out, guys. Have a great
Wait,
one.
I can't do my usual peace out. Wait. Time it. Peace.